Hello, this is Kai from the Bunny Nest, and I'm here today to share with you a tutorial on how to make alcohol ink flowers. The supplies I'll be using today include a can of compressed air, alcohol inks in the colors Pesto, Lemonade, Butterscotch, Mountain Rose, and Espresso, some Adirondack blending solution, Nouveau Gilding Flakes, and pieces of Yupo paper. I start out by applying a liberal amount of the alcohol blending solution to the card because this will be a carrier for the alcohol inks themselves. I'm just dropping in bits of alcohol ink in kind of a random pattern and starting to spray the ink out from the center with the compressed air. This gives you good control. Remember that you can press the trigger as heavily or as lightly as you want to be able to control it. It's mesmerizing just to watch the inks react on the paper. Now, I'm not really trying to make this anything at all really at this point. I'm just wanting ink on the paper. I'll let the way that the alcohol inks move dictate how the flower comes together. And you'll see me sometimes using this plastic pipette. It helps me get better control of putting that alcohol ink exactly where I want it. Alcohol ink has a tendency to come out of the nozzle very fast. Oftentimes it will settle on the rim of the bottle and fall where you don't want it to. So those plastic pipettes are a good way to try to gain some more of that control. You'll see that I'm adding more blending solution onto the paper. This is just to get the alcohol ink to move some more, or to give me a little more time to blow it around. I just love how that ink feathers with the compressed air. You could definitely do this technique with just a straw and blow it. But I like to push this out to really thready, feathery tips. So I prefer the canned air. Besides, I don't want to get dizzy. Now you can see the flower taking shape. That dark center really gives it definition. So this is where I start trying to build the flower itself. Now I know kind of where the ink wants to go and how it reacts. And I'm starting to see the appearance of a pansy flower, but it could be a lily too. I don't want to go for anything that's actually realistic. These are purely fantasy, and the best part is you don't have to water them. Be careful when you're using your pipette. You want to make sure that the flow comes out of whatever bottle you're using and doesn't back up into the product. You don't want to contaminate your blending solution with an alcohol color because that would affect every project from then on. And honestly, I could just play around with this technique for days. It's just soothing, and you never know what you're going to get. The interesting thing too is when you see the alcohol ink start to spread into the blending solution, it will separate a little bit, and you can see the colors that are used to actually create that color of ink. Now, I test this by touching, and I find that it's just a little bit wet still, and some places are sticky. Those sticky areas are where I'm applying Gilding Flakes. I don't take a long strip of the Gilding Flake and put it in there. I'm using just the tiny little bits that will stick to the tip of my finger because I don't want to ruin a whole strip. when just a little bit is going to be stuck anyway. And the static, when you open these jars, the static will cause the flake to stick to the lid, and sometimes it will fly out at you. So open these lids very carefully. But trust me, there is a ton of gilding flakes in each jar. See that shimmer? So this is the final product. And what I did is I decided to make an art journal page out of this image. You can check my blog out if you'd like more information on how this art journal page was made. And I also used some blue and green alcohol ink to make another flower. And I made this into a card, letting it have center stage. I also created one in pink and purple. I haven't decided what to use these for. And I want to thank you today for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share. Below the video you will find the description of all the supplies that were used and a link to my blog. Thank you so much for visiting today, and I hope to see you again soon.